bag charms trend. As much as I personally love bag charms, I don't think the bag charms trend is going to be as hot in a few years, honestly. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Jess. Today I want to talk about new Chanel bags, and yeah, I think some of them are actually quite interesting. I know that Chanel, you know, everyone says it, the price is absurd now compared to, you know, 2018, whatever. But I still like to follow it. I still like to see what bags they're releasing, and I also like to see if they're selling or not, because I do work at a consignment store, so it's good to follow the market, what's trending, just be in the know in general. So guys, if you like handbags, subscribe to my channel, by the way, guys. First bag I wanted to discuss is this big bow bag. This is like an oversized style. It does come in a few different variations. I've noticed this big denim one, which I know Denim Chanel has been quite popular the last few years, and it has like a bit of an acid wash effect. It's very oversized. And then there's also going to be like a mini version in leather, which might be more popular. Then there's like a bigger kind of a velvet tote bag version. The velvet is very girly, and I think black especially looks quite opulent in velvet because it really looks quite dark. Like black velvet looks darker than black leather. But the big size, it is going to come in the leather variation as well. And this bag, it's actually inspired by 2008 Chanel spring ready-to-wear collection. They did do a similar bag in a satin with a Mademoiselle turnlock in 2008, and I don't know, it's quite a random style. I can't imagine this being super popular. I might be wrong. And also what's interesting is that this 2008 collection, it was the same collection that featured the little ankle monitor like anklet, which was inspired from Lindsay Lohan because she had an ankle monitor at that time. So yeah, it's kind of like interesting that they're kind of referencing that kind of era of Chanel, because yeah, I feel like in fashion as well, we're kind of going back to, you know, late 2000s, early 2010s fashion. So it's interesting that they're kind of bringing this style back. But what do you think of it, guys? I think it's cute. I know that especially with like, you know, the Chanel 22 and the Chanel 25, they're these like soft shoulder bags, which you can chuck all your stuff in. And especially like the bigger, like velvety one or the leather or even the denim, they kind of lend themselves to be worn in a similar way, or like more casual, laid back, but it's kind of a bit more novelty and girly, I suppose, and then it has the big CC logo on it, so you know it's Chanel as well. It is giving me it does look a little bit cheap. Like I could also imagine like Miu Miu doing a similar bag like this. Actually, I have like my only Miu Miu bag is like this big bow clutch, which they did. I feel like this, I don't actually know what year this is from. I got this from a friend, but I know Miu Miu did like kind of bow styles, or even Prada did these bow styles at one point. So maybe it was like a trend, but this trend is back, guys. Bow bags are back. So yes, there's that. Let me know if you're thinking to get it as well, guys, or are you more into the 25? And speaking of the 25 bag, there's going to be a new iteration in a shearling color or material. Again, it's going to be leather, but it's going to have the edges in the fluffy kind of shearling Ugg boots material. This kind of variation is very seasonal. Obviously, it lends itself to be more worn in winter months. I know that Louis Vuitton kind of does this every now and then. Like they do like shearling capucines and on-the-go shearling. And I don't know, they tend to be priced very high. And so I hate to know like how much this would cost, because I just think that it's, yeah, I don't know. It is cute though. Like I do kind of like a fluffy bag, and because the Chanel 25 is very casual, I do think it does work. But I don't know. I guess it is kind of interesting. And then in terms of oversized bags, there is going to be a really huge felt travel size kind of like flap bag. And I know over the past few years, they have been releasing these like oversized flat bags, and they tend to sell out quite fast. They don't tend to be very common. And I hardly ever see them on the secondhand market, but this felt one, I guess, again, it's another kind of wintry material. They've got the velvet, they have the shearling. Felt as well is something that I think is coming in fashion, because I noticed on the recent Hermes runway show, they had felt Birkins and they had the felt picotins. So felt in a bag, it isn't something I personally invest into, because I feel like felt, it's very like arts and crafts, but it does add an interesting texture to your outfit. And I assume it's more lightweight compared to leather as well. There's also going to be some East-West bags in different variations. So there's a patent leather one in this like Amarante. Well, it's like, it reminds me of like the Louis Vuitton Amarante Vernis leather, but it's like dark red patent, which I know this color, it's been very trending for like a year now. I personally love this color. I do have like one bag in this color, but actually I bought another bag in this color recently, so I got to show you guys that soon. But yes, this one, I think it does look quite luscious in the patent leather, very like girly. And the East-West silhouette, again, it's kind of like referencing like around 2008 vibes when like, you know, the East-West, like JPG Birkin came out, and even Louis Vuitton was doing a lot of East-West bags at this time. So they're referencing, yeah, the 2008 kind of era, which is interesting. I do think it's very of the moment. I don't know if people would be lusting after this in like a few years, but it is cool. It's a little bit different, and it is a bit of a nostalgic kind of throwback as well, I suppose. And what's interesting is that a lot of these bags, they've also attached bag charms, like these little Chanel balls, which I guess is feeding into the current trends as well. I don't know if the bag charms trend, as much as I personally love bag charms, I don't think the bag charms trend is going to be as hot in a few years, honestly. I think Labubu is definitely like on the downward spiral right now. Like it's crashing and burning in my books, although I do still love Labubus, guys. And bag charms for me are always going to be cool in my world. But I think in terms of mainstream fashion, the bag charms thing, it's getting a bit like, I think it's going to be like not as cool in a while, because they're also like just a way for these brands to add on extra cost to the bag, because sometimes the bag charms as well are like as expensive as the bag, especially in terms of Hermes. So yeah, I imagine that these Chanel bag charms are also going to cost a fortune. So I guess, yeah, if you have money kind of coming out of your ears and money is no object, it doesn't really matter. But I think for most people, they might not just be able to justify the price point of like also adding on more bag charms, but it does look cute, I will not lie, guys. And especially I think with these East-West bags, they have enough kind of like space to add something interesting to it. There was on the runway micro 31 bag, and this is not new, they have done this before, but it's back again. And when they carry it down the runway, they kind of just use like two fingers. This bag, it will literally fit like AirPods, and that's about it, but it is super cute. The 31 bag, it's one of those bags that I think has kind of risen in popularity over the last year or so. And it comes in different sizes. It is based on an older Chanel bag as well. And the micro, yeah, it is cute, but very expensive for what it is. There is going to be a few more denim bags as well. As I said, Chanel denim is always very popular because it's lightweight, it's casual, it kind of lends itself to be more worn with like athleisure and like lazy clothes. And there is going to be kind of one with cargo pockets, which is cute. And then there's another kind of smaller proportion one in this kind of like acid wash pastel. It's like a light blue denim with a little bag charm. I think this will be popular because I can see this being very easy to style. And then the maxi size has the cargo pockets and it's very slouchy. It reminds me a little bit of a few years ago when everyone was kind of going for like the Nikki bag from Saint Laurent. It's a similar kind of like relaxed flat bag that I think, yeah, it will fit a lot more things, and it's similar, I guess, to the energy of like a 25 bag or a 22. It's just like more squishy, not as structured, and not as like, it's a bit more cool. Yeah, it's a bit more like lived in, and I think particularly their choice of using the faded denim in either the acid wash kind of grey or the pastel blue. It has more of like a lived in cool girl look, as opposed to something that's more structured and like, you know, perfect looking. So yeah, these are quite cool. And there's also going to be a new Chanel backpack as well in different suede variations, which is interesting. And they're going to release a few more colors of the 25 in different suede variations too. I particularly like the look of the blue suede one. I think that's really pretty actually, and you don't often see that in Chanel bags, but I think they did that. They have done this color before. I have seen it in vintage Chanel bags, so I think that in particular is quite striking. Yeah, I think that's actually quite a nice color. And then finally, guys, I wanted to mention this Hobo bag they've been doing for a few seasons, and it is this kind of like, yeah, again, slouchy hobo with a bit of a chain at the top, a really thick oversized chain. This bag they've got it this season in a red tweed color. I do assume they're going to do the classic black color variation as well. But again, it's another one of those like sack of potatoes bags, similar to the 22, similar to the 25. It's definitely very different from what was trending a few years ago with these like, you know, Chanel mini bags, really structured bags. But I think that they're trying to, you know, they realize that people don't always like to be super dressed up. They do like want something casual and practical. And sometimes when you wear something that's a little less perfect looking, it kind of makes you look a little bit more effortless as well. So yeah, they're most of the bags that are coming out soon from Chanel. Guys, let me know if anything speaks to you. And thanks for watching my video, and I'll talk to you really soon. Bye!